Hello again. By way of a quick short, this is a short review of for me, a new kid on the block in the way of a hotspot device for SvxLink. Now, HotSpotRadios.com in the USA market this little device here. It's a single board system with an SA818 radio on it, together with a CM108 sound card. The radio device is programmable and it comes with a lead. It's a somewhat modified USB lead, I think, because you have to actually flip it over and plug it into the program side to actually program the SA818. I've not tried that yet because I was quite happy with the frequency on the device when it arrived for me to evaluate. But I was very pleased with the result. But anyway, putting it back in the correct way round, and on the other end of the lead we had a Raspberry Pi Zero. Plug it in with the SvxLink software and it worked straight away. One little not disappointment, it was actually somewhat disconcerting that there is a COR light which lights up when it's connected to All-Star. However, the SvxLink software doesn't have this particular modification at the moment. I'm going to be looking into that, but I'll put it in the description where you can get these from, how much it costs, and so you can have a look at it yourself. Very, very well made. 3 sheets of fairly substantial plastic coating the system, and as I say, with the SvxLink it ran straight away. So look at the bottom for where you get it. Bye for now. Earlier this week I actually made a video which I shall tack on to the end of this so you can actually see the performance. Limited though the description of it will be, it just proves that the system does work. Hello, this is Chris, G4NAB, with what was to have been an unboxing video. I received today in the post from the USA a kind missive from the HotSpotRadio.com with a completely new device that I only just heard of, and I suggested they might like to have it tested in the SvxLink environment. They market it as an All-Star Link device. Anyway, it arrived in a box and I took it out of the box and I attached it to a Raspberry Pi Zero and it worked straight away. Unfortunately, the microphones weren't on, so I had to start again. But rather than go through the whole process, I'm just going to show you in general pile style the device which is on the bench. I literally loaded the software, added the settings for the various connections that I would desire, plugged it in, powered it up, configured it, and it worked instantly. So let's just point you down at the bench here to the Raspberry Pi Zero, and alongside it the USB HotSpotRadio.com device. We'll just try and get it in the view. It's a beautifully machined single board device with a C socket for USB. I didn't have a C to micro USB lead at the time, so I've added an adapter. But it's a single board, contains an SA818 and a CM device. I think it's a 108 or a 119. I haven't looked at it examined.
Alpha Bravo.
Thank you for demonstrating.
The time is 21 hours.
I say I plugged it in, it illuminated. I set the SvxLink to run and the LED started flashing and audio came out of the speakers. The kind people at HotSpotRadio.com already programmed it for 439.0 and a CTCSS of 67 Hz, and it works straight away. So here is a bit of a demonstration. First of all, let me take you to my browser where I can show you the dashboard, which is the result of a lot of work, I can tell you. Well, where's my Windows capture, and we'll have the dashboard here. That'll do nicely. And this is the dashboard. Sorry, it's a bit twee, but it's the only way I can get it all in so you can see the operation of it. It's currently in edit mode, which enables me to configure the SvxLink components should I need to change them. Initially they're built with a menu system with whiptail, but once configured the dashboard is immediately available, and as you can see it's quite pictorial. What I'm going to try and do is zoom it in for you so we can have a good look at the top part, which consists of 2 lines of menus, a display menu and a full edit menu. On the left hand side we have an RX monitor which actually streams live audio. There is a bit of a delay, probably about 1 or 2 seconds, but if you don't want to turn a radio on, you've actually got access to listening to anything that's coming through the network that's being transmitted on the small hotspot device, and you'll be able to listen to it on the desktop.
Talk group 53573.
As you can see, it's working quite well. The red light indicates a PTT activation. There's somebody ka-chunking at the moment on the All-Star Link network known as Northwest All-Star Group, and it occasionally pops up, wakes up the talk group, and we get that announcement. Anyway, on the left hand side we have active logics, simplex logic connected to reflector logic. So the UK reflector accepts client softwares to connect to it to enable the network to work. And I'm listening to 3 talk groups on this particular unit at the moment. 235, which is we've designated as the UK national, 2350 as a chat, and 53573, which is the link to the Northwest All-Star Group at this time. There are more talk groups, but this is just to make it simple for the moment. We are in listening status. We are connected to the UK-wide SvxLink.uk node, reflector, and it's showing. Let me just move this up a bit. We have system information. It's mode simplex. This is a simplex node, and editing is currently authorized. And at the bottom of the dashboard we have a number of buttons pre-programmed with other talk groups that we can push or click on rather to change to other talk groups. There are other functions available as well. We have we can program the remaining D14 to D19 buttons here with other functions such as calling up an airport weather or something like that. We've got East Coast All-Star Group, Freedom All-Star Group, Ham Radio 2.0 Group, Rochester Hampton Group. In the blue we've got the online amateur radio community, the Anglo-Scottish Group, and the Northwest All-Star Group. In addition to that, I've got a link to the French network. They are currently running a reflector system behind, so there's only one way to contact that. And then we can actually add other DTMF commands as well. And if you haven't already guessed, yes, we do have HotSpotRadios, but not enabled on this particular unit. I have that on my VHF system, which is with a base station antenna. And the Kachunkas persist. Okay, in addition to that, I said we can program those buttons, and here is the possibility of those buttons being programmed. We can actually select the colour they're going to be. See, talk group 235, that's the code we use to access it, and there's the colour of the buttons. Green is obviously green, but it doesn't show on this particular screen because it's already there. So we've also got the opportunity to change the audio configuration with a mixer. Not the best way, I find. Sometimes you have to go to Alsa Mixer in the terminal to do it properly. And we have the opportunity to configure HotSpotRadios. As I said, this one is not configured, but it is quite possible through the editing suite to do it. And we've got a series of airports that we can configure. This is programmed up for British airports. The American version has US airports, Spanish likewise, French likewise. And we can select our node information. This is a JSON file that will supply to the reflector in order that they can display certain information in the configuration screen. We'll show you that in a bit. And we've also got the ability here to actually recycle the unit, restart it completely from cold, or power it off entirely. So if we come out of that by clicking on dashboard, this immediately revokes our authority to edit. So unless you've got the power to authorize yourself, if you have a dashboard which is available to members of the public, then they can't get in to mess with the editing suite. This is the dashboard, this is the stations, the SvxLink reflector activity, and we've got the nodes, which is a similar screen, but it does slightly different things. We can actually
53573 operation failed.
Yes, we did. That's correct.
Talk group 53573.
That's to reactivate it. Anyway, we've got a list of general talk groups that we can use. This is not by no means a defined list. You can use any talk group anywhere, provided there's somebody there to listen to it. We've also got a DTMF panel, so we can actually type in the DTMF codes directly. There is one section here which is not yet available, although it's showing that we can have an audio test peak meter. At the moment it's not configured because we've had one or two issues with the Alsa mixer and the loop back card, but that will be complete in the near future. If I just go back to authorized for the moment, and we'll authorize me again, and that is not me. And we're authorized, so we go to log. We can actually view the running log at the time, and it will refresh. So back to the dashboard, and we'll shrink up. We'll shrink it in size so it fills the whole of the screen. So I'm going to use my Yaesu FT60D and DTMF tones via the Raspberry Pi Zero and the sound card built into this module, excuse me, and we'll call up the airport for Newcastle Airport. The weather, I meant.
Activating METAR information. Newcastle Airport. Met report time 2050. Wind 340 degree. At 10 knots. Wind in the vicinity 320 to 020 degrees. Visibility more than 10 kilometers. Moderate drizzle. Clouds. Broken 2,700 feet. Temperature 5 degrees. Dew point 5 degrees. QNH 1005 hectopascals.
I sent a hash to end that module.
Activating METAR information.
Let's see if we can call somebody across the pond. Let me just go to buttons a moment. We have to authorize ourselves as usual. And we go to put in the name of the dashboard user and the password again. And we go to buttons. There appears to be a typing error somewhere. There's no hash after this one here. So we save that at the bottom. And we just make sure there's nothing going on at the time.
Talk group 0.
And then we connect Ham Radio 2.0.
Talk group 43136.
Is anybody about on the grapevine this evening? This is G4NAB Golf 4 November Alpha Bravo. There's no reply, but I would have thought there would have been. Let's try the East Coast Network.
Talk group 9050.
Is there anyone on the East Coast Network? Give me a call, please. G4NAB across the pond. In the event that he might be there, AA3XV, are you listening? Golf 4 November Alpha Bravo. Goodness me.
GB3BW, this is W3ICQ. My name is Bob, and I'm in Central Florida on the east coast of the U.S. Name is Bob.
Hello, Bob. Good evening, good afternoon to you. This is Golf 4 November Alpha Bravo G4NAB. The name is Chris. And my brother's over in Orlando, so he's not very far away. Alpha 3 X-Ray Victor. I was hoping he was going to be on, but he's not presently, but great to hear you. I'm here testing a USB hotspot radio device from HotSpotRadios.com in California. and it seems to be working quite well. G4NAB, over.
W3ICQ. Yes, those are very, very good devices. I have a few of their devices as well, and they always perform pretty flawlessly. So I think you probably got a pretty good device there. You're coming in very good. Your signal's got a little bit of static maybe in the background, but I'm not sure. That might be me. So back to you.
Okay, Bob, W3ICQ G4NAB. Well, I'm going to surprise you, and I'm going to tell you that I'm not running All-Star. I'm running SvxLink, and it slots into place just like that, and it's running very well indeed. But I am linked to an All-Star node. I'm talking on the grapevine from Ham Radio 2.0. No, I was. No, I'm not now. I'm on the East Coast network. And I was hoping to catch my brother. There's a repeater apparently in central Orlando that is linked, but it might be the case that he's not monitoring just at the moment. I did try HR 2.0 earlier on, but didn't get any response. So bear with me while I'm slightly confused. But to say yes, the Hotspot Radio USB device is superb, well constructed, and it fits the bill nicely. G4NAB.
W3ICQ. It's very nice speaking to you. I hope to talk to you again. I will let you go so you can see if your brother might want to come in and maybe he hears us talking. Hopefully he does. And I'll say 73 to you, wishing you a good week ahead. This is Bob, W3ICQ. We're clear.
Yeah, thanks, Bob. Great to hear you, and thanks very much for the compliments on the Hotspot Radio devices. That I think that's going to be very much appreciated. 7-3, have a great afternoon. G4NAB clear. Right, that proved it. Right. Anyway, guys, thank you very much indeed for the opportunity to test this device. And I think it's going to be very good indeed. So Marshall and Marty, thank you very much indeed. Let's see if we can add this to your portfolio. Yes, the image that I have needs a bit of tweaking to US standards, but it certainly works. I say worked out of the box. Simply ran the Raspberry Pi 2.0 straight into it, configured it, and it burst into life instantly. And the audio quality is absolutely superb. So those CM devices certainly work. So, back up to me. Thanks again, and we'll be in touch. I'll send you the link. So that was my test of the HotspotRadios.com USB device. See you again soon. G4NAB out.